Welcome to fasboyRambles by Fastboy Creative. Today we're going to talk about synergy. So this is an old term from the 90s. It's maybe not as commonly used anymore. It was really overused in the 90s. Everything had to do with synergy, but I think this is a good one, an important one, especially if you're really trying to be organized, you're really trying to have success, and you're really trying to make things happen. The principle is definitely not lost. It's just a bit of an overused term. So anyway, if you don't know what synergy is, it's really when the whole has a value that's greater than the sum of its components. So if you took each of the individual efforts involved in your activity and you added them all up, and you came up with a solution that is greater than the sum of those tasks, that would be what synergy is. So let me talk about that in a little bit more maybe understandable way. The couple things I guess I'm going to talk about is, building a team and a network, how to kill two birds with one stone, so to speak, and, how to plan for synergy. And it's going to require some creativity and require some benefits for all. And so, in trying to reach your goals as quickly and as effectively as you can, the more resources you're able to bring into the pool, so to speak, or onto the team to be able to get the job done, generally speaking, will allow you to get you there sooner. And from my opinion, if synergy is working well for you, you gain some other things. So the thing I like to look for is, who are the people, or what are the resources that all have common interest in the thing that I'm trying to accomplish. You want to make sure that the thing you're trying to accomplish, it needs to be worthy to all those involved. It needs to provide benefit to all those involved. So if you're going to get things done in a synergistic manner, it's probably not, bossing people around and telling them to go off and do their individual things. It's getting your team to work together in a fashion that gets things done in a manner that's more effective than maybe you could have done on your own, or could have done in individual tasks that are not part of the group. So let me touch into this two birds, one stone idea. I mean, this is a phrase I just use all the time, and I can give you examples in personal life, examples in business, and whatever it is you want. But one of the common ones I have is for families. I have found that if you're together in a relationship, whatever kind of relationship it is, and you have common goals, the things you want to accomplish, and you're not working together to solve those problems, then you're probably taking the hardest path. So let's take an example. Maybe you and your wife or significant other go out and purchase a property, and you're going to fix that property up, whether you're going to live in it, you're going to sell it, flip it, whatever the case might be. And you decide that, okay, well, I'm going to do the drywall work, and when I'm done doing the drywall work, my partner is going to do the painting work. Okay, well, doing it that way does get the job done, and can get the job done. But what I've learned is you incorporate your wife and your children and everybody else and say, okay, let's get together, let's do the drywall work today, and someone's handing you the tools, and someone's laying out the pieces that need to be cut, and someone's mixing up the plaster, and all the different things that have to be happening at the same time. And then when the plaster work gets done and it's time for the paint, well, then same thing. If the other individual's going to do the painting, you help stand there at the bottom of the ladder, hand the paintbrush, do the things that support the task that the other person needs to get done. Well, now the reason I say two birds, one stone, right, is you get to spend time together. You get to have the happiness or whatever you get that comes with getting the job done, and the job gets done, and you do it together. So that's a synergistic approach to solving that problem. So my advice to you is, if you have a partner, whether it's a partner in business or it's your spouse or whatever the case might be, it's really important to learn how to do things together, and it's really important how to work towards those common goals together at the same time, and not be critical of each other. Goes a long way. And I think about with my family and the projects I've done with my wife and my kids, and one instance we needed to paint the basement, so stuck dirty shirts on the kids. They were little kids about this big, and gave them a paintbrush, put a lot of plastic on the floor, and showed them how to paint, and said, okay, paint. Well, they weren't really getting much paint work done at all, but they had a lot of fun doing it, and the job got done. And if we had to wait for the opportunity for the kids to be out of the basement and the wife to allow me the time to do the work, and to get the paint bought and get all the plastic laid out and all the things that needed to happen, it would have just took a much longer time, and it may have never gotten done. but by introducing my wife and my kids to the scenario, everybody had fun. The efficiency maybe during that particular time period might have seemed not that great because you had to go up and clean up behind the kids the whole time they were doing it. But point is, job got done when it might not have otherwise got done. Relationships were built, and fun was had. And guess what? The basement got painted too. So anyway, that's just a simple example in a personal life of how things can happen. You can decide how to apply that in your business life as well. But the key piece here is understanding that synergy is good. Putting a team of people together and using your network to pull together people with common interests, common skills, and planning for that. So plan for synergy. This is going to require you to be a little bit creative because not everybody's going to right away be interested. And you say, hey, I want you to help me paint my basement. People might not find that interesting to begin with, but if you talk about the fun you're going to have, how we're going to listen to music, we're going to teach you how to use different kinds of brushes or whatever the thing might be that makes it attractive to the people who maybe otherwise wouldn't be interested. But the key here is it needs to be interesting, and it needs to be a benefit for all, and it needs to solve multiple problems at the same time. And if you can do those things, the synergy that you get from that will be fantastic. And if you can do that as much as you can in your life or in your quest for whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, whatever level of success you're trying to have, you'll just get there quick, and you'll be able to have fun doing it, and you'll help people along the way. Now, along with that, I like to talk about the flip side of that as well. You can't always just gain great synergy on everything it is you're trying to do. And the more success you have and the busier you become, the more difficult it is to align the team of people that you need to do to get things done when they need to get done. Because as you start to develop and have your success, you get busy. And of course, the people that have been on your teams that you're bringing along with you through your synergistic approach, they get busy also. And sometimes there's things that just need to be done that would be done well by a synergistic team, but it just doesn't fit your schedule. And you just need to be able to get things done. So this sort of stems off my previous discussion on procrastination, which was kind of a short discussion, but it ties into this, what I'm going to call the flip side of synergy is how do I, when is it appropriate just to get things done? Well, my advice is, so you can't pull together the team. Maybe you don't have the time. You have a small window of opportunity to work on something and you want to accomplish some things that would be better accomplished with a synergistic team, but you still need to keep moving anyway. My suggestion is this. There are some things that, just find ways to do things that require a team or multiple people by yourself. So examples for me, I was working in the garage. I like jet skis. So for me to be able to work on my jet skis, generally I need someone else to help me load it on and off the truck. Or I need someone else to help pick things up or whatever the case might be. So I configured my garage in ways that I can, hoist my jet ski up. I can put it on and off the jet ski stand in the garage. I can transfer it from the jet ski stand in the garage onto the truck, and I can do all those things by myself. So while that would be done better with a team, I don't always have a team, but yet I still want to get the job done, and I don't want to procrastinate it because it's important to get things complete when you have the time available to do it, because sometimes in the long run, there's situations where that can be more effective than waiting for the team to be available, or at least it gets it done sooner, and you don't waste time sitting around doing nothing because you're waiting on other people to be able to help you. So synergy can be an important thing, and of course the lack of synergy, just give yourself a backup plan and have ways to get things done. So when you can't have the synergy, that you can still keep the projects moving, whatever they might be. So don't let that lack of support hold you up. Don't let that turn into procrastination. Sorry. But having a backup plan for the opportunity to get things done without the synergistic team, I believe, is a useful thing. So I've kind of rambled on there about a couple different topics and a bit of a mouthful, and I hope it didn't get too boring for you. But understand synergy, what it is, and the importance, and how well it brings you to your destination faster. And then in the event that you can't have synergy, how are you self-sufficient? When does it make sense for you to be self-sufficient? What are the things that you need to do? If you need to learn how to use an email tool, or you need to learn how to run a spreadsheet, or whatever the case might be, so that you don't have to wait on somebody else to be able to get a task accomplished. I think that's a scenario where you just go ahead and prepare yourself to be self-sufficient and get the job done. Anyway, Fast Boys rambled on long enough about these topics. I hope that helps. Thanks.